Yo, what's up? It's a great deception, and we're getting into the truth behind Jay-Z and Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre was a DJ. He was really into, music and shit. He was everybody, knew that he had talent. It was like no doubt about it. But he basically Dr. Dre is the type of person to do whatever he can to make it, you know what I mean? And a lot of times that's not a good thing, you know? And I know a lot of people don't understand what I mean by that, you know what I mean? But it's just you have to sell your soul and you have to do a bunch of shit to get into this $10-20 million club, you know what I mean? I heard of people that made it without selling their soul. Like MGK got so big before he had to sell his soul, and he actually came down to a tattoo shop in Toledo when I used to live out there, Toledo, Ohio. And he came out there and he was telling the tattoo artist that basically he had 30 days to figure out if he wanted to sell his soul or not. So basically what happens is that wild boy, he basically was not, he didn't sign a soul away when Wild Boy came out. If anybody remembers MGK Wild Boy, he was still, you know what I mean? He was still cool. He didn't sell his soul yet. But when he got into the situation where it was time to make a decision, because what they do is they give you a little taste of fame. They give you a little taste of success. And that's why you hear about these one-hit wonders. They give you a little taste of success, a little taste of fame. And if you want to sell your soul and keep living that lifestyle, you know what I mean? You'll get everything you want. You know what I mean? You get jewelry, cars, you know what I mean? But there's a dark side behind it. You know what I mean? You have to do gay rituals, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're straight, you have to go suck a dick or something, you know what I mean? You have to drink goat piss, goat blood, the meaning of goat, the greatest of all time. There's a different meaning for that. It's a double meaning. You know what I mean? It's basically to keep their self-esteem down, you know what I mean? And make them feel like less than human, you know what I mean? These people that you look up to, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I never looked up to these people, but these people that we look up to, they're out there doing all kinds of rituals. There's Dr. Dre killed his son. Like, there's so much stuff going on, man, like, that people don't know about. Like, Kanye West sacrificed his mother. And a lot of people do know this stuff, you know what I mean? But there is people that still don't know, or still don't believe, or still thinks it's like some kind of fucking, you know what I'm saying, big conspiracy. This ain't a conspiracy. This is reality. You know what I mean? There's plenty of artists that came forward that only, like, were one-hit wonders, and said the reason why they didn't want to fucking become famous, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people with a lot of talent that were just one-hit wonders, and they had, like, a number one song, just like Machine Gun Kelly, and they got that number one spot, just like Machine Gun Kelly, and they had a decision to make, just like Machine Gun Kelly, you know what I mean? So they had to make a decision if they wanted to sell their soul or not. So that's where it gets deep. But with the Jay-Z and Dr. Dre situation, it's like way deeper than that. It's even worse. You know what I mean? So Dr. Dre wanted out of his contract with Ruthless. Dr. Dre was basically like a big deal. You know, he was a big deal for Ruthless. You know what I mean? They lost, what's his name? They lost Ice Cube, you know what I mean? And they're like, fuck, we got Dre. That's all we need, you know? And Ice Cube was huge, you know what I mean? He was dropping like number one hits like as soon as he left Ruthless, you know what I mean? He's like under the same label, but not under Ruthless, you know what I mean? It's the label that carries Ruthless. But basically, he got into this shit and decided, you know, he's gonna go all out. So Dr. Dre had Suge Knight come through, you know, put a gun to Eazy's head and made him sign that record contract. That way he could release Dre, so Dre could be making more money with Death Row. And then Dre was supposed to be the owner. Listen to me. Dre was supposed to run the whole Death Row situation. And then that's the agreement. And Suge Knight basically reneged on the agreement. And that's basically when Tupac came in. And the only reason why it reneged probably is because Tupac jumps in, sells 6 million albums in like the first week or two. And then what happens? He gets all them album sales, and Dr. Dre is not as wanted no more. You know what I mean? He's not as important now that they have Tupac. Tupac is a big deal. You know what I mean? He like when Dre Day came out, everybody was feeling that shit. When All Eyes on Me came out, they're never thinking about Dre Day again. Like that's how serious it was. Like Tupac came in there and he took that shit by storm. He ran that shit. But anyway, he basically was sick of Tupac. Tupac was calling him out about being gay. He was calling him out about all kinds of stuff. Check your sexuality. It's fruity as this Alizé. Remember that on Toss It Up? Check your sexuality. As fruity as this Alizé. Dumb trick. What a dumb move. Cross death row. Now who you gonna run to? But he didn't know that Dr. Dre had a plan, you know? Dr. Dre already sacrificed his son. He already, you know what I'm saying, put the work in. Probably got hammered in his butt hundreds of times, you know what I mean? Because he likes it anyway. He was telling everybody, he was telling Tupac and Suge Knight that it was all cool and everything for him to get pumped in his ass. He said he's bisexual, not gay or not nothing like that. He's just bisexual because he don't like to do people in the ass because he could do that to a woman. He said he'd rather get pumped in his ass. So, I don't know. That's gay to me. And it was a situation where everybody, like they were at the table, you know what I mean? And they figured out, they were like, okay, you lie, and then there's punishments. You know how death row is, you know what I mean? They probably take you outside and whip your ass for lying, you know what I mean? So Dr. Dre was all honest about his situation. He's like, no, I'm not gay. I'm bisexual. I don't like fucking people in the ass. I like getting fucked in the ass. Like all this gay shit. You know what I mean? Nah, listen to me. Because I don't want you to think that I have anything against gay people or anything like that. But if you're gay, say it. You know what I mean? Don't become this gangster rapper. You know what I mean? And try to hide behind this real nigga image. I just can't see that. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to be somebody real. But at the same time, you're hiding in the closet. You know what I mean? And you're fronting to these people like you're some gangbanger. You're a gangster. You know what I mean? So people are looking up to you, thinking that you stand up for what you believe in. You're a real ass dude. You know what I mean? Not knowing the whole time you're getting pumped in your butt the whole time, and nobody knows about it. You got real OGs listening to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Across the world, not even knowing this dude is drinking goat piss and getting clapped in his booty cheeks. So that's when shit becomes a problem. You know what I mean? But anyway. I basically was thinking about everything. And Dr. Dre ended up leaving, and he went to Aftermath. Okay? Now we're going to rewind. We're going to go back to Jay-Z. Jay-Z was, they said he was a little bit ahead of his time. I think they like to take that line from Tupac. You know what I mean? People weren't feeling Jay-Z at first. But a lot of people knew he had talent. It's basically what they're trying to say. And, since he has so much talent, everybody was like, the first time he quit, they're like, no, man, you should really get back into it. So he ended up getting back into it. And guess who puts him on? Damon Dash. So there's Rockefeller Records right there. Damon Dash puts, he puts him on. And then Jay-Z set, you know what I mean? All he has to do is drop out records, you know what I mean? And everything's good from now on, you know what I mean? But Tupac was around then, you know what I mean? So he wasn't really getting no play, you know what I mean? His style was kind of weird to people when Tupac and Bone and Biggie were around. You have to think I don't think Bone gets enough credit for real, because they're in that era with Tupac and Biggie, and they're still alive. And they don't get no respect. You know what I mean? I guarantee if they ended up getting shot, everybody would have been like, oh, Crossroads, blah, blah, blah. You have to remember, it was Tupac, Biggie, and Bone Thugs. That's what ran the 90s in hip-hop, man. Like, and then another thing I think is Twisted. Like, everybody makes these top 10, you know what I'm saying? Everybody makes these top 10 fucking videos and the top 10 best rappers and all this shit. How come Twister ain't never on there. Adrenaline Rush, that dude, yeah, he needs to be on there, bro. He needs to be on any top 10. He should be on there. There's really no reason for that dumb shit, bro. Like, I think Twista is the most underrated rapper of all time, and I don't care what people think. Like, I think he is, you know. But anyway, this is about Jay-Z. So basically, Jay-Z was out of his. He was signed to Damon Dash, you know what I mean, and he basically is like, you know, moving slow, you know, Hawaiian Silky fame, all that. He probably got the most recognition when Tupac dissed him. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure if it was like the first or second track. It was before Toss 'Em Up. I'm not sure if it was like Blasphemy or Bomb First, but he was dissing Nas, Jay-Z, you know what I mean? All that. And if you think about it, Jay-Z and Dr. Dre, they ended up being on top of the game. But who was on top of the game before them? You know what I mean? It was Biggie and Tupac. So what happened with the situation with Biggie and Tupac? That all of a sudden, these people, you know, there's one from the west side, Dre. There's one from the east side, what's his name? Jay-Z. And basically they're basically running the sides now, you know what I mean? It's not like an East Coast, West Coast thing, don't take it like that. It's just, they're basically running the grounds that Tupac and Biggie used to run. Silently, you know what I'm saying? They're not screaming no East Coast, West Coast shit, you know what I mean? But they're basically, you know what I'm saying? They replaced the true kings. They replaced the true kings with these whack-ass, booty-looking motherfuckers. So, the only thing I could think of is, remember, Tupac, he ain't sacrificed nobody. You hear about all these rappers nowadays talking about, you know, I lost my mom, or I lost my brother, or I lost my son, blah, and they're crying to you about it. Don't even listen to that shit, bro. They sacrificing people for money. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, the Illuminati did this to me, and all. Yeah, they probably did. You know what I mean? But you allowed them to. See, they're not going to go kill your mom if you say no. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, okay, you don't get the record deal. You know what I mean? You have a choice to make. That's why God and everything like that, you got a choice. So they can't force you to sell your soul. You know what I mean? Because it won't count. And it would be like, they just, you know, you have to say it. The devil wants you to say it. He don't want it to be forced, because that don't count. He wants you to be like, okay, the money is worth it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I have to do. That's what he wants. When Jesus came down, you know what I'm saying? He said he'll give them all the world. Jesus said no. Because the world is the devil's, you know what I'm saying? That's why it was his to give. And the devil runs everything around, you know what I mean? So you have to really pay attention to, if you really want a rap career, or if you want to be a rapper, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do some evil stuff. If you ain't an evil person, do the self-made shit, you know what I mean? That's basically what I'm doing. I do videos, you know what I mean? I do all these videos. I do, basically, what else do I do? I do the videos. I do, you know, like I'm going to start doing little top 10s, like anything, you know what I'm saying, to get subscribers, you know, entertain them, you know what I mean? And then once I get it to a certain limit, or a certain amount of views and stuff, I'm going to start dropping my music, you know what I mean? And when my music drops, that's a way, you know what I'm saying? That's a way to get people to hear you. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a way. Never give up on your dreams just because this Illuminati bullshit. If you ever have a dream and you want to be somebody, you can, you know what I mean? It's just, you ain't going to be no $20 million dude, you know what I mean? What's wrong with driving a Mercedes and having a nice house? You don't have to have $20 million to do that, you know what I mean? So that's basically my goals and my dreams, was to make it through this YouTube shit, you know what I'm saying? To try to do that. But Dr. Dre and Jay-Z, they sold out their people, you know what I mean? Their own people, like blood relatives, cousins, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? They basically sold their souls and had to sacrifice somebody for their fame. So, I don't know, man. It's deeper than you think. But they replaced the real kings. And it was for hip-hop to move forward. They They didn't want the gangster rap, you know what I'm saying? They knew that would die out eventually. And they wanted to bring rap into pop, you know what I mean? And Jay-Z is like a pop rapper. You had to, I mean, think about Jay-Z versus Tupac and listen to the songs. You could tell that Jay-Z is a pop rapper, you know what I mean? That's why they like him so much. All them old white people, they love Jay-Z. Because they do listen to anything they say. Anything. So yeah, it's pretty out there, bro. But all you gotta do, man, is study these artists. Watch them, you know what I mean? Watch them, because when you play their music, they pray over it, you know what I'm saying? When they pray over it, I mean, they basically pray demonic prayers over your music, and then they go sell it online or whatever. They literally pray over that shit for you to have a fucked up life, you know what I mean? So the more underground shit you listen to, the less these fake ass celebrities are gonna get shine. And the less they get shine, the more the underground will get shine. And then we'll take the industry and flip it upside down. But people just can't get enough of gay ass straight getting pissed on in the movie theater and wearing your ass was that, you know what I mean? Like that type of rap, you know what I mean? I think it's killing hip hop. You know, these dresses, everything not standing up for what you believe in, just the overall message of hip hop now is not what it used to be. Not even close. So, I realized I'm kind of like over 16 minutes here, so we're gonna do a part 2 on this Jay-Z stuff, and I'm basically gonna really break it down of who they sacrificed, what they did, more info about Tupac, and if he was murdered or if he's alive, and they decided, you know what I'm saying, to just take him out of the rap game, script him out the rap game. Who knows? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna figure it out and get back with y'all. So have a good day. God bless y'all. Like, subscribe. Keep your head up.